2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
Won the Saudi Open on the Asian Tour in April, and he won the International Series event in Macau in March, beating David Puig in a playoff. Here's a man with 9 career wins, 3 of them on the DP World Tour. 33 years of age from Sacramento, and he is making the most of his chance.
Remember, John Catlin playing as a reserve for Charles Howell III, who's injured. If he were to go on to win this, he gets those points. That would move him right at the top 24 number. Move him at 20th currently.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. These guys make this look so easy.
So having a day. The Englishman 6 under par. He shares the lead with Abraham Answer for the time being, at least. Now this is Abraham Answer to stay at 7 under and in all likelihood have the overnight lead. And that is wonderfully done. Abe Answer with a 64.
This is what Live Golf's about, man. I had a vision of this 2-3 years ago, seeing what the potential could be, and this is just the start. I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
Welcome into InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno in for Scott Wetzel tonight, alongside the incomparable Sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan, all decked out in Dodger blue. Dave, you know, you and I together, man, this is not only do I get to do a 2-hour show with you tonight, I get to physically see you this weekend when I'm out in Vegas. I mean, I am riding the Sharapan bus right now.
This is great. Yeah, I'm excited to see you this weekend. Good to have you out in Vegas. There's a lot of people coming out, getting ready for football season, and a lot of people are making like last rounds of visiting family, visiting friends, because football season is a week away, week 0 in college, 3 weeks away for the NFL. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and this is the start of a hell of a week. I'm wearing a Dodger blue because how many times a year do you get the Dodgers at a really cheap price? And I feel like, even the computer picked the Brewers today. Everybody's on them. Any strong opinion either way in this side or total?
No, not really. I mean, I was wrong in the first game of this series with Kershaw on the mound, and then I thought about coming back with Colin Ray in the second game. That didn't work. I mean, Brewers trying to avoid being swept, and although Walker Buehler hasn't been great, he gets to start tonight against Frankie Montas, who is also equally as bad. I mean, generally it feels like an over, but these two teams haven't scored that much in this series. At least the Brewers haven't. Their offense, which has been really good at home through this series, seems to have struggled a little bit. So this one about to get underway here in just a few months. Take a quick look at the board as we update everything that's going on. We have a couple of games from earlier today that went final. Royals finally beat the Twins 4-1. Cole Riggins gets the win. D-backs all over the Rockies 11-4, and the Padres complete the sweep of the Brewers. Yep. I mean, the Pirates, rather. 8-2. I mean, God, the Padres might be the toughest out in all of the National League, if not all of baseball right now. But let's get to the live games here. Red Sox a 4-2 lead over the Rangers in the 7th. The Orioles a 2-1 lead over the Nats, and they still can't score runs. They're facing a guy named David Hurst, who doesn't even have a picture on ESPN.com. He's just a silhouette. I keep betting against these silhouette pitchers, and I keep losing. I have the Orioles team total over 4.5. They had 3 hits in the first inning, 2 runs, and they've had 1 hit since. And they're in the bottom of the 6th right now. For a team that's 3rd in runs scored at home this year, yeah, thanks, guys. Way to show up. Guardians over the Cubs. Couldn't get to the window on this one. Really wanted to take the Guardians. Or I thought this game was going to go over, too. That's why I was a little bit nervous given the starters here in that game with when you expect more runs, obviously you get more variance, harder to go, but Guardians look like they're on their way here in the top of the 6th. Phillies finally break out the bats. They've scored 6 so far against Edwin, don't call me Eduardo Cabrera, who has been fantastic over his last 5 starts. A nobody. I played against him twice. He beat me twice, and I'm not going back to that well again. But the Phillies up 6-5. Mariners get Brian Wu on the mound, a 1-0 lead over the Tigers in the 5th. And I don't want to jinx it. But the Cincinnati Reds are up 5-0 on the Cardinals. And if the Reds hang on to this game, both the Reds and the Cardinals will be 60-61. And then I need 32 more wins. Okay. Well, technically I'm going to need 32 more wins. Yeah.
What?
For them to, I'll need 33 for them to, no, they can finish 82 and 82 will work. Yeah.
What?
So
you
I need
buried
32
the lead.
more
What
wins.
do you need to get what?
I need over 81 and a half wins is what I need for the Cincinnati Reds. I bet they're over win props. So they got to go 32 and 31 the rest of the way out. They got to play one game better than 500 for them to go over. Astros leading the Rays 1-0, going for the sweep there as well. Mets finally look like they're learning how to play baseball again. They're up 3-0 over the Athletics. So we'll get to the late games coming up later on. Any other action you had? I'm on the Mariners money line and the Orioles over 4.5 tonight. That's all I got.
Mariners money line is a good-looking play. Astros again. I just don't understand. The odds makers just don't respect the Astros. Again, same price, same game, same matchup, different pitchers.
Well, the Rays have been a tough figure out. There's just their run differential makes them a bad team, but yet somehow they keep hanging around 500 and winning games. And you know what's happening, Dave? And this usually happens every year at this point in time when you get to the middle of August. I think sweep starts to become more routine. In the beginning part of the year, when a team wins the first 2 games of the series, you're paying a premium price on the team that lost the first 2. You're starting to see a lot of that level out. Sweeps are starting to happen because a lot of these teams really at this point are starting to realize, hey, I'm not in this. Or they've made trades at the trade deadline now that it's August and there's a downgraded play from a certain team like the Rays. And you find yourself that sweeps are going to start to be a little bit more commonplace down the stretch from the good teams over the bad teams.
Oh, for sure. And the price is usually reflected in that. I'm watching the Phillies waiting for them to win a game, and they're down 5-2. The bases loaded. Schwarber hit a Schwarbomb, grand slam. So now that's why they're leading 6-5. That game's already over the total. We'll keep an eye on that in-game total because when you get to this point, let's see, 6-5, top of 5, 15.5, Zin. Any interest? I don't think it's done. I don't think they're done scoring. So I would lean over to 15.5. The other one today, too, that I looked at is Red Sox. And I don't know if it's just from talking to Peralta every day, but I was like, is this cheap? What am I missing here? I mean, and
it was dangerous. The whole series. I bet the Red Sox in the first game of the series, or was it last night, rather? It was Cutter Crawford. No, I'm sorry. I took the Red Sox team total over in the first game. They got it in the bottom of the 10th inning, went over. I played them again yesterday on the money line against Jose Urena. They covered there. So I was done with the series. We'll see what happens with the rest of this game. But the Red Sox trying to stay in this thing. By the way, too, the other look I had, once again, the Yankees, after being a minus 350 favorite in Game 1, lose that outright. They come back and win, only score 4 runs in Game 2. They were the 3-1 favorite there. Will Warren was a minus 255 favorite again. These are the guys the Yankees are trotting out there, and they're getting priced like they're Cy Young Award guys out there every single time. There's no way Will Warren should be a 250 favorite, but I looked at the Yankees team total over 5.5 today too.
81%.
I mean, they've only scored 6 runs in this series so far.
81% on the smart projection. Again, that's one of the highest numbers that I've seen in my 3+ years here on SportsGrid on a baseball game. And yes, I didn't even know Warren's first name until you just said it. But everybody's on him, and it makes sense to bet the Yankees against the White Sox. But when you look a little bit deeper, you got to be a little bit worried. Soto, 3 home runs yesterday, outstanding performance. And they covered for the producers. The producers had him yesterday. Yeah. Producers coming back with him again today. Producers pick right there. Look at this, Zin. They're not even afraid to lay 160 on the run line.
Well, again, to their same point, the Yankees need to get over 5.5 here. If they do that, that minus 160 should be a lot more palatable for the producers. It should be a lot easier to take. I just have a hard time believing that the Yankees won't eventually start to score runs against a bad White Sox staff and the worst bullpen in baseball. So, they're going to get all 9 at-bats. If they can't get 6 runs tonight, Will Warren's on the mound. It shouldn't be an issue where him giving up 4 or 5 runs should be the problem, because they should be scoring 7 or 8.
Agreed. Does that make you look to the total in the game?
I mean, you can't bet an under, right? I mean, the White Sox bullpen is always going to keep the over in play because it's that bad. So it's really, really hard to look at the White Sox in an under. And again, it's Will Warren. I mean, this guy is not really a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. So the idea that he's not going to get touched up a little bit here, you got to figure if the White Sox get to 3, the Yankees should be at 6, and we should at least push this total of 9, or get over it at some point in time. So, if the Yankees get to start scoring early, then, this should be an easy win for the producers and their producers pick, although laying some heavy juice.
Sure.
Back to the board here. Heavy, right, exactly. Reds put up another one. They're up 6-0 right now. As they are starting to run away, and Kyle Gibson is probably out of this game at this point in time. Well, he's actually still in there. 4 2/3, 6 earned runs, 7 hits, although he does have 6 strikeouts. So we'll keep you updated on the board here. They hit the 7th inning. The Orioles still can't score. Got them miserable. We'll get you updated more here as we continue on. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the Grid.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingstrom to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingstrom, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away from a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Should take up the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a big leg. Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in-game live, PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, YouTube, SiriusXM, channel 159. Mark Zinno and for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan here on this Wednesday evening, Major League Baseball. Dodgers and Brewers just getting underway here in the top of the first in the final matchup of their 3-game set. Reds tacked on another one. Now they've scored. They kicked the extra point. They're up 7-0. So Cincinnati continuing to be in cruise control. Dave Peterson has a one-hitter going against the Athletics. Mets up 3-0 that game in the top of the 5th. Late games tonight here, Dave. Blue Jays and Angels, as I think Toronto going for a sweep. Braves and Giants. I kind of leaned Giants tonight. Braves won the first 2 games of this series in extra innings by 1 run. Yeah, I mean, it's Robbie Ray on the mound. I vividly remember playing against Robbie Ray in his first start back against the Dodgers for him to no-hit the Dodgers for 5 innings. Yeah, go figure that out. He managed to give up an earned run without giving up a hit. Yeah, that's
Yep.
Mark Zinno in a nutshell right there.
That's it.
Over his next 3 starts, he's lasted, what are we looking at, 15 in the third innings, given up 8 runs. The Giants, rather, have won 3 of his 4 starts. Certainly don't want to get swept here. You're still getting low totals in this series, but Braves are starting Grant Holmes, a reliever turned starter who has been kind of banged around in his last couple of starts. Gave up 5 runs to the Rockies, gave up 3 runs to the Marlins in just 4 2/3. So the Braves have lost all 3 of the starts that he's made this year. And this is a team, again, that is being pushed to the very limit. Not sure how much they're going to have left in the tank here down the stretch here, but this is a game that's super important to the Giants when it comes to the wild card race, as the Braves are at the bottom of the wild card race, and or at least the bottom of being in, the last team in, Giants chasing them. So again, Braves a decent underdog. I'm sorry, a decent sized favorite tonight, but the Giants, again, this is a team where they don't score a lot at home. It's not a hitter's ballpark, so when you get these low games, sometimes with these low-scoring games, I'm more willing to go first 5, just because, you look at it, if you're not getting a lot of runs, the team that usually gets out to a lead is a team that holds on to it. So if the Giants can get to Grant Holmes, Robbie Ray theoretically should be able to do the rest. We already have the Dodgers now first and second with nobody out here in this first inning. So quickly getting to Frankie Montas.
You know what else we have? We're going to need a sound effect for this. I mean, like during hockey season, we play the goal horn, and I don't know if Vinny has it close, but we might have to crank it up, Vincenzo. Juan Soto, another home run. There it is. Good job, Vinny. Crank it up. 1-0 Yankees.
Wait a minute. Is that 4 home runs in his last 4 at-bats?
Yep.
That's insane. That is insane.
Oh, baby.
I mean, you know how hard it is to
how much is it going to cost this team to keep him?
What's crazy? And I just got reminded of this. He's not even 25 years old yet.
That's crazy.
He still you could sign him to an 8-year, $500 million deal.
Yep.
And I don't think it would be a bad deal. I mean, listen, for all that the accolades, and you talk about Ronald Acuna and how great he is and everything else, would it shock you if Juan Soto had the better career? I mean, Ronald Acuna has now had 2 ACL surgeries, and Juan Soto has managed to stay relatively healthy throughout his entire career here.
Yep.
At this point, once again, the Yankees are getting sort of, what's the word? I mean, listen, no one's going to shed a tear for the Yankees, but they're kind of getting screwed here because Aaron Judge is about to hit free agency. All he does is hit 62 home runs. Juan Soto's about to hit free agency. He has 4 at-bats with 4 consecutive solo home runs. So go figure all this. I don't understand how it's just nuts. So he continues to be.
Chance? Do you think there's any chance? And I'm not just saying it because Vinny's here, making sure we look good, sound good, and all this other stuff. But do you think the Mets empty the bank and say, come on over, blue and orange, stay where you live, we'll come pick you up, just come over to Citi Field, do it at National League again. You know the division pretty well. Came from Washington, that little stint out in San Diego. Could he be a Met?
I mean, he could, because Steve Cohen has more money than he could create. So that's always a possibility. However, if you're Juan Soto as a left-handed bat, isn't Yankee Stadium tailored for you to have the best production possible? Like, it's one of those things where if you're Juan Soto and Scott Boras is his agent, right? I mean, that's so, like, at some point in time, it's like, Juan, does I get $50 million is like $50 million that you don't turn down. But if the Mets are offering $550 and the Yankees are only offering $500 million, do you need the extra $50 million? Yes, you do. Like, I get it. You need extra. Everybody would take an extra $50 million.
Right.
Beyond that, I'm just saying simply, first of all, Citi Field is not a hitter's ballpark at all.
No.
So all those home runs at Yankee Stadium, they're either flyouts or ground rule doubles in Citi Field. So, again, you don't care when you have the contract. It doesn't matter if you produce or not for baseball. So it's really hard to turn down an extra $50 million. But there's a party that would like to think is like, dude, just go to New York, rake, win a World Series there. You'll be the toast of the town. They retire your number. You'll be treated like a king everywhere in New York. You go to the Mets, what happens? You miss the playoffs. You blow an 8-game lead in September. You get bounced in the first round of the playoffs when you choke when you're the number 1 seed. And that's what is $50 million worth all that? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is.
I mean, look at the World Series odds. All right. When you look at the World Series odds, you see them, and the Yankees are right there near the top. There's 10 teams right there. I'm looking close in. I don't see the Mets. I don't. No. And I don't know if they're on the second page. I don't even know if we have a second page. We got to look at the National League odds. Where's the Mets? There's the Mets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on.
I mean, at this point in time, can we just bring those odds back up again on the screen here? And for those who are listening on Sirius XM channel 159, forget the Mets for a second. The Padres right now are 10-1 to win the National League pennant. The World Series odds, guys, bring that up again. The World Series odds, I think they were 20-1 to win the whole. Like, at this point, don't you have to consider a small little pizza bet on the Padres to win the whole thing?
Without a doubt, Sin. There's no higher team in baseball. And the way they line up with Cease at the top, if they win a division, I would make them the second choice. Ahead of the Phillies, right next to the Dodgers.
All right, more on the World Series odds, more on the rest of the Major League Baseball board when we return. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live, PrimeTime.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away from a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton, who's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take up the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in-game live prime time here on the SportsGrid Network. Mark Zinno alongside Dave Sharapan, getting you through the Major League Baseball slate here on this Wednesday night. As Dave told you, Yankees up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Dodgers already scratched one across, looking for more bases loaded in the top of the first inning here for the Dodgers. And already the lines are locked in the FanDuel Sportsbook, but we'll get you updated here in a minute. Texas Rangers have tied it up against the Red Sox. They are knotted at 4 now in the bottom of the 8th inning.
My.
Red Sox minus 170 on the money line. Red Sox, the total at 9.5 right now, which is crazy because You only need 2 more runs here. Over juiced minus 132. Orioles still can't seem to get any runs against the Nationals. They have first and second here in the bottom of the 7th. Please hit a home run and just make my life easy. Phillies up 6-5 over the Marlins. That line just got locked. Did something happen? Maybe the Orioles did hit a home run. Somebody will answer a prayer. The Cardinals actually pushed one across here. Now 7-1 in favor of the Reds, top of the 6th. There's still a 1-0 lead for the Mariners as they head to the bottom of the 7th there. Guardians up 4-1 over the Cubs. Guardians minus 2.5 at minus 280. Total set at 6.5 in that game, juiced to the under. Houston a 1-0 lead over Tampa Bay. The Orioles just pushed one across, so now it's 3-1. I need a home run here, Dave. Find a home run somewhere. Mets still up 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. There you
Jackson
go.
Holiday got a single, so we're good. Yeah, just get. You want a home run? Let's just get a couple more runs for the Orioles. I know you want the.
They're only going to get one more at bat at this rate, so that's the problem. They're only getting one more at bat, so I feel like if they don't do it here, I'm screwed.
True.
However, the over in the game at 5.5 is juiced minus 148. So at least odds makers believe that the Orioles might bust this thing open here. And please, let's hope they do. Another base hit by the Dodgers. They are now up 3-0. Yes, 3-0.
Yes, sir.
For Los Angeles. Bad sign for Milwaukee. Bad sign. That total up to 11.5. We'll see how that goes. If you'd like to jump in there live, but. Anything else standing out on the board to you right now? Again, we got the late games going on. We'll get to those coming up in a minute. That's about it, Dave. That's all we're looking at right now. Cardinals push another one across. Now it's 7-2. Total at that game set at 13.5, only at the top of the 6th. I'd like to believe that both of these bullpens, which are pretty good, St. Louis, the top 5 bullpen, taking the under at 13.5 feels pretty good right now. I got to tell you, even with 9 on the board, you'd still need 5 more runs. Yeah.
Does this feel good? Mets leading the A's 3-0 in the 5th. We were talking about the Mets that are on my mind. And the A's have been a fun team to bet on in the second half, either overs or different opportunities in game. So plus 3.5 is only minus 140 against. So, I mean, you're actually already covering. Very rarely does the book do that. So it's going to flash between 3.5 and 2.5. Now the A's are coming up to hit, so you better grab it soon. 5.5 is the total. Hate betting under 5.5 when we're only 2-5. That's a tough spot. I think I would lean over right now if we're going to go there on that game. I don't really trust the Mets bullpen.
I mean, the A's bullpen is pretty good. People forget that. And the A's in general, I'll never forget when we talked in the beginning of the season, Joe Ranieri and I, and we were talking about the A's win total. I think it was like at 58.5, some insanely low number. And I'm just sitting there, guys, you can't bet. Everyone's here. Oakland's going to be the worst team ever. Yeah, maybe you still can't bet under 58.5. And I remember screaming about it and never actually having the guts to make the play. But, they got 51, 52 wins right now. I mean, should have been the easiest money any of us made all season long was taking the A's over 58.5 wins. They're never that bad. The A's are bad, but they're never that bad. They're just way too good of an organization run, in the front office for them to be that bad. So I find it tough at times. You look back and you're like, I should have known better, but nonetheless. So the A's continue, like you said, a great team to bet on. They certainly have made people a lot of money this year if you're willing to bet on them as a dog. So, very much a situation where, hindsight being 20/20. By the way, the total in the Mariners-Tigers game here, Dave, 3.5. As they're in the bottom of the 7th. 3.5.
So, and it's 1-0, right? So 2 runs, as long as you don't get 1 or you get 1 and 1. The problem with betting under 3.5 is if the Tigers tie it and it goes to extras, you're toast. There's no way this is going to finish 2-1. If the Tigers score the next run, get through a couple innings, and goes to extras, I don't know. Might be one of those opportunities. Wait, and by the time we come back from the break, go over 2.5.
All right. Well, we'll have more for you guys on the board in Major League Baseball. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton, who's here on debut, who watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take it to 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back. In-game live PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, SiriusXM channel 159, as I remember who I work for. Welcome in. I'm Mark Zinno, in for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan. Welcoming in George Kurtz. George, Dave and I were discussing a moment ago. With Steve Cohen having more money than God could ever invent, like, if you're Juan Soto and you get offered $550 million by the Mets and $500 million by the Yankees, like, doesn't the short porch in right field, doesn't it make, like, can Scott Boras tell him, you don't really need the extra $50 million? Stay with the Yankees, go win a World Series, be a hero, they'll retire your number, you'll be loved forever in New York, or you can go to the Mets, blow an 8-game lead in September, choke in the first round of the playoffs, never win anything, and hit 25 less home runs over the course of 2 years because nobody hits home runs in Citi Field. What does Juan Soto do if that's the choice?
The problem is he is a Scott Boras client. He's not taking a dime less, more than $50 million.
That's what I said. I told you, Sheriff. I told you.
Yeah, he's not going to. I mean, don't get me wrong. The player owns. The agent works for the player here, so he could tell him that. And listen, I'll be the first person to tell you, if I'm a player, I agree with what you said here. I'm not spending the extra $50 million anyway. You know, why wouldn't I want to play for where I want to play for? I don't know why more players don't do that. I certainly would want to play for the short porch at Yankee Stadium.
Because it's $50 million, George.
He'll never see it. What's he going to do? Is he going to buy an island? My wife's the Philippines. They can buy one of the 1,000 islands they have. They can just buy it. As long as they live there.
If Monty Brewster could spend $30 million in 30 days, I'm sure Juan Soto could spend $50 million over the course of the rest of his life.
A deep cut reference that you kids need to go watch Brewster's Millions if you haven't seen it. That's an outstanding movie. Good calls in. Right? Oh, look at that. Jack Youngin even knows about it in her ear. That's good. So he hits a home run tonight, George, and the Yankees are leading again. Are you comfortable right now in game? Let me click refresh here. The Yankees price is, let's see. Oh, it's a smooth, what does that say? Minus 400?
Oh, God, yeah. FanDuel.
You want to lay 400 with the Yankees right now? Mr. Chalk?
You know, it's Will Warren on the mound. He got lit up by the Angels last week. All right.
I told you.
I mean, remember, the Yankee bullpen, by the way, is gasoline on fire. They suck. All right. So I think if you're going to play the money here, as I was joking with Mark before the during the break here, The Yankees' last 5 runs are all home runs by Soto. This was the biggest feat. It's a small sample size, granted, but Chisholm's out, and now no one else can hit again but Soto and Judge. And we're back to this again. All right, so I think no one's going to put, you're not laying money on the Yankees right now. If you didn't take the public parlay before the game started, well, you're sort of stuck here. Maybe you want to go play the run line, take your shots there. I'm on the public parlay. We got two of it in already, so the Yankees better win tonight. But the Yankees annoy the crap out of me. All right,
of course.
They just do. Think about the Yankees. And are we tied at 1? By the way, we are tied at 1. Yeah, I think it was Vaughn instead of home.
Because Warren is not a major league starter.
He's not but they don't have one. Starter. Mark, wasn't this the problem? Why isn't Jack Flaherty on this team? Why isn't Jack Flaherty on the Yankees? Because Cashman got scared at the deadline. For whatever he got scared. Oh, the medical reports. Now, I don't know what it would have cost the Yankees to get him, but it looked like the Yankees and Tigers had a deal done. Right, that he was going to the Yankees, and then the Cashman backed out. For whatever reason, he backed out there. Although Cashman sort of denies that. He's sort of trying to play it like the Dodgers outbid him. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't here. But think about Cashman. He said a couple of days ago that the reason Dominguez, the Martian, Jason Dominguez isn't with the Yankees is because there's not a path to his playing time. Really?
Yeah.
When did Verdugo become an MVP? He's batting .235. His OBP, and he's the leadoff guy, since May 1st is 278. He has 10 home runs, 50 RBIs, 1 stolen base on the season. Why is he blocking anybody? Why? Anyone got this for me. And by the way, Dominguez is also a center fielder, which gets Judge out of center field. A little less of a wear and tear in his body. So Cashman just doesn't like to admit that he made a mistake with Verdugo. And by the way, it's not even a mistake. Verdugo really was signed or traded for. He gave up nothing for him, but he was traded for to be a placeholder until Dominguez is ready. He's ready. Let's go already. So
did you say
this frustrates me to no end?
Did you say OPP, like naughty by nature? OPP?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
Yeah, you know me.
Thank you, Zin. I know. I'm not sure George knows it.
I know. I knew that one. I knew that one.
There we go. Yeah, you know me. Good job. Atlanta and San Francisco later. We talked about it already. The Braves find a way to win back-to-back games in extra innings, 1-0, then 4-3. Total, Robbie Ray and Holmes tonight is 7.5. This thing screams under to me. I'm going to guess you like the Giants, George. I'm leaning Braves. Zin's leaning Giants a little bit, but nothing strong. What say you? Break the tie.
I'm with Zin here. Like I said, nothing strong. I certainly agree with that. Wouldn't be a big play here, but I'm on the Giants too. Both games have been great, by the way. They've both gone to extra innings, as you said here. I think it will be close here. But Robbie Ray has pitched well. He's not going deep into games, but he's pitched well here. Holmes is sort of, maybe. We'll see if he can pitch here. So even the under scares me a little bit because I don't trust Holmes here. So I'm on the under as well, but they're both small plays. Nothing drastic at all here. Braves have been under most of the season. They're having trouble hitting here. I think it's going to be another close, tight game. But Giants said they're in the wild card hunt. They need to win this game. Robbie Ray has to win it over Holmes.
Yeah, well, again, and Holmes has gotten beat up kind of in his last 2 starts against bad teams in Miami and Colorado. Quick update of the board here, guys. Red Sox back up 7-4 now in the top of the inning. But, the Rangers bullpen is an absolute garbage fire, a dumpster, abortion, whatever you want. It's disgusting. It's just how they keep doing this is beyond me. Of course, Dave Sharapan, the Orioles, pushed across a 4th run, and my over 4.5 is going to die a slow death in the bottom of the 8th inning, unless the Nationals come back and tie this thing, which is actually what I'm rooting for right now, that the Nationals come back and score 3 runs here and push this thing in extra innings. Phillies get a grand slam here from Schwarber. They've struggled as of late. Your level of concern, is it because the Mets and the Braves really aren't doing anything to apply any pressure on the Phillies? But are we starting to see the Phillies as vulnerable here, George, in the big picture for the NL pennant in the World Series?
If you would have asked me a week ago, I said, it's a long season. Every team goes into a slump, right? It's gone on a little bit longer than I feel comfortable with, right? It keeps happening here. That being said, I think your point is sort of is true there. They know they're winning a division, right? The Mets aren't playing well now. I think the Braves might fall out of it completely and not make the playoffs. So I think they know they're going in here. Dodgers haven't – there's no one pushing them right now, right? Dodgers are having their own issues, although they're playing well now. I think they're going to be fine. I said 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, I thought the Phillies were a team to beat in the National League. Now with the Dodgers getting healthy, and Dave wearing the cap here, and it's right side up this time, not backwards, I might be leaning more towards the Dodgers again, although I'll feel much more comfortable with the Dodgers when we see what Walker Buehler is going to do.
Yeah, we'll see that. Stars are blue tonight, but there's another blue, and it's over your shoulder. I got to ask you, the Cowboys were valued today as the most valuable franchise in sports, like 300-something billion. I don't know what the number was.
10.32.
They don't got CeeDee Lamb. Everybody's talking, all these guys. George, there's the season wins right there. What the hell's going on in Dallas? And there is no way in hell they're going over 10.5 season wins, right?
I took that bet months ago when it first came out, well under. The Dallas schedule is much tougher this season. They're playing the AFC North. They're not as deep a team as they were last year. They've already lost Sam Williams for the season, who was a key component to that rushing the passer defense there. And they lost their who might have been their starting left tackle. He's got a toe injury. He's gone too. And the offensive line has no depth. No depth. Any more injuries to that offensive line? And Dak, he'll be running for his life this year. He may not have to worry about a big contact next year. He'll be dead.
Such a prosy outlook by the Cowboys fan. I've never met somebody who's more irritated at the Yankees and Cowboys than George Kurtz. Neither here nor there. George, hanging around with us a little longer. Going to ask you about the San Diego Padres, their viability to win it all next. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live, PrimeTime. Stay with us.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take up the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver in the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back to InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno in for Scott Wetzel, alongside Dave Sharapan, joined by George Kurtz here as we finish up hour number one. Just a quick rundown of the board, any changes that we've seen. Yankees and White Sox 1-1, Red Sox 7-4 over the Rangers, looking for more with first and second at the top of the ninth. Orioles a 4-1 lead over the Nats in the bottom of the eighth. For the love of God, somebody on the Orioles hit a home run. Guardians up 4-1 over the Cubs in the bottom of the eighth. Phillies still hanging on to a one-run lead, 6-5. Mariners threatening in the top of the eighth, first and third one out with a 1-0 lead there in that game. Reds up 7-2 over the Cards. Astros still a 1-0 lead over Rays in the 8th. Mets now 3-1 over the Athletics. Dodgers still up 3-0 over the Brewers. All right, George. Dave and I were talking earlier. The Padres, you're getting anywhere from plus 800, 8-1 to 10-1 for them to win the National League pennant, and anywhere from 16-1 to 20-1 for them to win the World Series. They look like a pretty serious contender right now. And in fact, Dave was there during a break. I put a shekel down on each one to win the NL pennant and to win the World Series in the Padres. How much of a threat do you consider them at this point?
Yeah, they're definitely a threat here. Now, there's a lot of moving pieces here, all right, because Tatis will be back, I think, by the end of the month, maybe earlier than that. We don't know what's going on with Yu Darvish. We do know he threw the other day, but not for the team. He's throwing on a high school field. He's on the restricted list, I believe it is, as Verdugo strikes out again. Thank you, Alex. So they're definitely a threat here. I'm going to be on the Verdugo thing for days now. It's making me mad. So they're definitely a threat. But, you got to get through with Dodgers here. And the Padres have eliminated the Dodgers before, right? The Dodgers are going to get better and better as well because they have their injuries returning, right? Kershaw came back. Betts came back. They're going to get Tommy Edman back, Muncy back, and Yamamoto eventually too. So my guess would be this. Out of all these injured players that are coming back for both of these teams, whichever guys become those guys, they're back to themselves. If Yamamoto's that ace, if Muncy's going to hit 30, 40 home runs, he'll be on pace to do that. He's playing a full season. If Tatis is going to be that MVP, goes a long way. Yeah, but if they come back and they're not themselves, it's going to put them behind a little bit. It's tough to trust either team because I think both teams are going to need Darvish, going to need Yamamoto to be themselves. I don't think Buehler's going to be that guy, by the way. I think Buehler really won't be that guy till next season. But they need Darvish and Yamamoto maybe to be number one starters in the playoffs, at worst number two to get to where they want to go. Do I think the Padres are a threat? Yeah, I would have them number 3 right now. I'm still ranking it Phillies, Dodgers, Padres. It's not that far apart here, but that's how I rank it in the National League.
How about the Diamondbacks? Diamondbacks last year, the path was right. They eliminated the Dodgers. The year before, the Padres eliminated the Dodgers. Diamondbacks are getting pretty hot right now, too. You see the odds, and they're close. We'd have to look at the schedule and how many games against the Dodgers each team has left. I think that's what would ultimately decide it for me if we were making the numbers. But I've been pretty impressed with the Diamondbacks, George. I feel like this series against the Rockies, they didn't even.
The D-backs only have 4 games left against the Dodgers, and they're all in Arizona. That's all they have left for the rest of the year against them.
Ooh,
that's about right.
Okay.
You're not going to have more than that.
Padres have
play still Ryan, right? Division.
They get 6 against San Fran. They also got 3 against San Diego left. So 7 games against the teams that they're chasing total. It's unfortunate.
The Padres have 6 against
either team.
I think
think about it. Either team only needs to game every other week. You need to gain a game every other week to get in first place.
Well,
somebody hit a home run, by the way.
Here's the D-backs have left after sweeping Colorado. They got Tampa Bay and Miami, which are easy series. They have to travel to Boston. They're a good team. They get the Mets at home and the Dodgers at home. San Fran, 3 against Houston in Houston, 2 against Texas. They have 7 games left against Milwaukee, 3 more against Colorado, and they finish up with San Francisco and San Diego.
Wow, so the Milwaukee's going to decide that. 7 games left against Milwaukee. That's no joke. Zin, I don't want to jinx it, but the Orioles got a guy on base.
I know.
Okay, forget I even said it.
Right now, I'm hoping that the Mariners, who have the bases loaded, push more runs across because I also got them on the money line. So I'd like a little more breathing room than 1 run.
George, you're down on the Cowboys, but are you high on the Eagles then in that division? Are the Eagles the team? Are they just going to walk to win that division? Or, really can't consider the Commanders a serious threat to do anything. The Giants odds are surprisingly worse than the Commanders. I think the Giants are going to have a better season than Commanders myself, but you sound like minus 140 isn't high enough to win that division.
Mark and I talked about this Sunday night, I believe, on InGame Live Overtime. There are a lot of people who are high on Washington, by the way, who think they could make that move here. Now, we all know this stat. No team has won back-to-back titles in the NFC East since 03-04, blah, blah, blah. So I'll just eliminate the Cowboys right on that, right, because they won last year. People are down on Philadelphia mainly because of the Sirianni have control of the team, all right? And you got 2 new coordinators. Does it take Fangio and Kellen Moore time, all of September, mid-October, until teams are, till it's just gelling? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You look at the schedule for the Eagles Day. You start off against Green Bay. You go to Atlanta. It's a little rough, right? Two things that we expect to improve. Atlanta made the big trade today, which I think is fantastic for them, and getting Judon. Good move there. It's what they needed. But that being said, I think Philly's going to be just fine. All right. Yes, I do expect them to win the division. I'm not going to say it's going to be a walk. I don't think they're winning 13 games, but I think Philadelphia's an 11-win team. I have the Cowboys at somewhere around 500, so around a 9-8 team. So I think Philadelphia will win it. I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. I think that's San Fran. I probably wouldn't even put them second. I think that's Detroit. I would put them somewhere with Green Bay, I guess. And I guess we'll find out in Brazil on that Friday night which team is the better team. So Philadelphia, I think, is a good team. I don't think they're great. Yes, I think they win the NFC East. That has nothing about me being down on the Cowboys. I just think Philadelphia has a better roster overall. Once again, they have more depth than Dallas. Already mentioned that injury to a Dallas offensive line, that's not good. He's probably going to start the season on the IL, on the IR. So he's gone for a certain amount of weeks here. And Dallas doesn't have depth really anywhere. Plus, I have no idea how the players are feeling right now in Dallas that Jerry Jones won't sign anybody. Won't sign Dak. Won't sign CeeDee Lamb. So, yes, I give Philadelphia the advantage in the NFC East.
I mean, listen, the Eagles are possibly ready to implode. When your head coach and your quarterback don't get along, there's always the possibility of fireworks and bad things happening. I mean, it could go apart very quickly. By the way, the Texas Rangers tied it up in the top of the ninth. It's knotted up at 7 between the Rangers and Red Sox.
And not the only ones with a bad bullpen.
The Guardians went over their team total, just not the Orioles yet. Please, I need another base hit for the love of God. We'll find out if they do it when we get back. Mark Zinno, George Kurtz, it's InGame Live Prime Time.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
He shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in InGame Live, primetime here on the SportsGrid Network. I am Mark Zinno. I'm also a loser. I'm joined by Dave Sharapan because the Orioles couldn't push a fifth run across for the 7th and 8th inning where they left the guy on second base.
Yeah.
Single. You know what I tell my kids, Dave?
Well,
2 out base
hold
hits
on
win
one
World
second.
Series.
What'd you say? You told
2
your
out
kids
base
what?
hits.
Yeah.
I tell my kids 2 out base hits win World Series. Okay? 2 out base hits. They win World Series for you. All you need is 2 out base hits. And the Orioles didn't get one in the 7th inning, and they didn't get one in the 8th inning. Now they're going to win the game, but you know what? In the playoffs, that comes back to bite you. Now I have to hope the Nationals score 3 runs here in the top of the 9th, which I'm absolutely playing for. Did the Orioles bring in Craig Kimbrell? Because if they did, we have a shot here.
Let's see. For your sake, I hope they did.
No, they didn't.
No.
Dominguez is in.
Dominguez. Yeah.
Back to the board here. Mariners still have bases loaded with 2 outs. They're up 2-0 in the 8th. Again, Dave, 2 out base hits, win World Series. You get a 2 out base hit here, 4-0, you win the game. You don't, Tigers will tie this thing up before the end of the night. Reds increase their lead over the Cardinals 8-2. Rays tie it up in the bottom of the 8th at 1 with the Astros here. Brewers scratch one across now in the bottom of the 2nd. 3-1 in favor of the Dodgers, 3-1 in favor of the Mets. They're on the bottom of the 7th right now. That kind of gets us updated on the board. Red Sox and Rangers now headed to extras for the 2nd time in this series.
Oh, do you like the Ghost Runner?
It took me a year, but yes, I do. I do.
I like it, and that's the way. I mean, all the coaching that I did, the softball. This is the way we always settled it. It's called the international tiebreaker when you play fast pitch softball. So I like it. It's immediate offensive pressure in a game that usually doesn't have much. So I like it. It makes a nightmare betting totals. I think the in-game stuff is really intriguing. It's hard to feel comfortable about a 1-run game, even in the 8th inning, when you have under 7 and it's 2-1 in the 8th, and you're like, oh no, if they tie this thing and it goes 2-2, you're not even comfortable under 7 at 2-2, right?
There is nothing worse than grabbing the +1.5 in a tie game, and then in the home half of the 9th, the extra innings, he hits a 2-run bomb, and they win by 2, right? I mean, you feel great the whole game long, whatever, you're up by a run. You need them to win by 2. They tie it up, and then somehow they get out of it in the top half, and then a 2-run bomb on the first pitch, and you lose. That's as bad as it is in a 2-2 game where you got under 8.5, where somehow 5 more runs are scored in extra innings. As much as that's a tough pill, the +1.5 is the best bet you can make in baseball. And to lose it in extra innings like that is just, it's disgusting.
Very, very frustrating. Yeah. So we heard George a little bit, and we're going to have Kaplan come on here next and go back to some NFL talk. Who do you like?
By the way, the Mariners did not get a 2-out base hit, just in case you were wondering. Did not get a 2-out base hit. Still 2-0.
2-out base hits, win the World Series. The Mariners are not going to win the World Series based on Zinn's thing. Correct. Who's the second best team in the NFC for you? Because, I mean, it's pretty clear odds-wise, books cross. It's San Francisco. But is it Detroit? It doesn't sound like it's the Eagles for you. I think it's Detroit.
No, I mean, their schedule is really favorable early, and that's the big thing, right? Like, if you're going to bet a season win total over, you got to have an easy schedule early because you got to start stockpiling wins. So look at the teams that they play in the first 4 weeks: the Rams, the Bucks, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. Right? And 3 of them are at home. And the one road game is against Arizona, who may be the worst of the 4 of those teams. So for a team that can't win on the road, and knowing in week 16 and 17 you have to go to Chicago, cold weather, and to San Francisco, where they're probably not going to win, you need to have, 10 wins in the bag by then. And is it on the schedule? Yeah. I mean, yes, they got to go to Dallas. Obviously, they got a road game in Minnesota, but they get Tennessee. They have to travel to Houston. Could be tough. They get Jacksonville at home. Indianapolis, they're much better than. They get 3 straight home games against Chicago, Green Bay, and Buffalo at the end of November into December. So the schedule sets up well for them early. If they could steal a road win in Dallas and Minnesota early, and you're 5-1, 6-1 after 7 weeks, 6-7 weeks, then they should be able to get over their win total, just holding serve at home the rest of the way.
Philly's just got another hit, double, 7th
I
inning.
will tell you this. There is a path, and we got to do this on the other side when we get back here. I think the more interesting question is who's the 3rd best team in the NFC. So I'm going to say something that will surprise you about the 3rd best team in the NFC when we get back. Mark Zinno for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan. It's InGame Live, prime time here on the Grid.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingstrom to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingstrom, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton, who's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take it to 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back into InGame Live. PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno in for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan. Get to Adam Kaplan here in just 1 second. Dave, I wanted to pay off the tease real quick. The interesting thing, this is going to lead to what we're talk to Adam about. The team that I think they could sneak into the 3 seed in the NFC, if the Cowboys and Eagles both implode, which seems like a high probability, is the Atlanta Falcons. They should be a 10-win team, as is already. Now they add Matthew Judon. They have one of the easiest schedules in all of the NFL this year. This is a ready-made team to win now. Arthur Smith dragged bad quarterback play to 7 wins. Now they have Kirk Cousins. That should equate to 10, possibly 11, if not more. I think they could sneak into the 3 seed if the Cowboys or Eagles slip up. With that, let's welcome in Adam Kaplan here on the SportsGrid Network. Adam, the Falcons appear to have pulled off a trade here for Matt Judon for a third-round pick. I know they have to work out the contract and the extension to get it done here, but when it's all said and done, if this is a fait accompli, what does Matt Judon do for the Falcons?
Yeah, and this is a big deal. In fact, if you go back to the trade deadline, they were in on any linebacker, or excuse me, he's not really a linebacker. He's an edge rusher. Let's call it like it is. Any edge rusher that's out there, they were in on it. It's interesting about this trade or what's it's going to look like. Yeah, there's a great part of their schedule for the Falcons. But if you look at their first 3 opponents, Steelers,
yes,
at the Eagles and home against the Chiefs, but then it really, Mark, on your point, gets a lot easier. But bottom line is they get the edge rusher, which they badly needed. I know talking to them, and I'll be with the Falcons on Monday. Arnold Ebiketie they like, who's been one of the better pass rushers the second round or 2 years ago, but he's more of a third pass rusher. They brought Lorenzo Carter as a journeyman pass rusher back. They just don't have enough. And back at the trade deadline in October, I remember I put a couple things out there that they're on every pass rusher that's available. They're in on it. They just didn't get anybody. But this really helps them. And by the way, Mark, on your point about potentially making the playoffs, the odds makers, they've been on this. Pharrell and I have been talking about this on Coast to Coast for like 2 months now. The odds makers clearly believe that the Falcons are the favorite and to win the NFC South.
And don't forget, they're getting Grady Jarrett back healthy this year, too, as well up front. So
come back with that injury in ACL, but yeah.
People have been betting the Falcons to win that division for a decade, and they've been unable to get to the window, so that's fine. But I just looked at the schedule, and they got a bye in Week 11. They're favored every game except Week 2 at Philly, 4-point dogs, and Week 3 at home against KC, 3-point dogs. Otherwise, favorites the whole way. If it's not the Falcons, Cap, who is it in that division? I think it's Tampa.
Yeah.
But who is it?
No, it's funny, Dave. So I've said we got to be careful with Atlanta. You got a 36-year-old quarterback come back into an Achilles. I get it. Kirk Cousins doesn't need to run. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer. But you're for a guy who barely played last season, who come back from a serious injury, you're asking this guy to put the team on his back. Defensively, they got some issues. We just mentioned pass rusher. It'll be better now with Judon, who, by the way, is an older pass rusher who got hurt last season. We should mention that. But Tampa Bay you could say they overachieved last season. They lost some key players. They retained some players who were extend some contracts. They've got a new play caller. And but the bottom line is the Falcons are very talented. Dave, for my money, I'd still pick Tampa Bay. I think and by the way, the public it's not just the odds makers. The public, the Falcons are a public team, Mike.
Love them,
Dave. The public loves the Falcons. Okay, Mark. We've been talking about this on Coast to Coast again since the draft. As soon as the draft was done, the Falcons became the prohibitive favorite with the odds makers and obviously the public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, and watch how it unfolds. They can actually, if the first 3 games, if they go 1-2, beating the Eagles is the most important win. They can lose to the Steelers and Chiefs. They beat the Eagles. That tiebreaker will come into play come the end of the season and could possibly decide the 3 seed between Atlanta and Philadelphia when it's all said and done. So, that's the game of the first 3 that if they're going to win, they can lose to Pittsburgh, no big deal. They can lose to KC, everybody would understand it. They beat the Eagles head up. 1, it's a huge lift for them emotionally within the conference. But 2, that tiebreaker will come in handy later on down the road. All right, let's shift gears here, Adam. We get J.J. McCarthy now out for the year. First, it was just a torn meniscus, no timetable. Now officially out for the year. I mean, wasn't Sam Darnold going to be the starter anyway? I know McCarthy played well, but this was never really his job to lose, was it?
Well, no, let me back up a little bit. McCarthy, by the way, was phenomenal last week against the Raiders. I mean, he made I know that defenses, talking to coaches for years, it's vanilla, you're not blitzing, but the Raiders got pressure on McCarthy, and he delivered. And that, I was surprised at how well he played because some of the throws are really difficult, and he had the full-blown repair. That is, I know, Mark, you've talked about you've had the surgery before. It could be as much as 5 months, and sometimes the recovery is a little bit longer. But not everyone's the same. But they knew that it's going to be at least 4 months. So he's out for the season. At least he got this game in. Now, Sam Darnold, the reason why I'm told that the Vikings signed him is because they think he knows the system well. He played in it last year with the 49ers and Kevin O'Connell. His West Coast system is the same one Shanahan runs, and that's why he's there. Now, let's be honest with you. You don't want Darnold starting all season. There's a reason why he keeps moving from team to team to team. He's the kind of guy that clubs will tell you gets you out of a tough spot for 3 or 4 games, but starting the entire season has never been their plan. Odds are, had McCarthy not gotten hurt, he probably would have started early on, but it wouldn't have been for much longer than that. But this changes everything. So my odds, they have to go down for the Vikings to make the playoffs. Forget about winning a division, no chance. But to make the playoffs, it's going to be very, very hard. Last year was it's kind of a step back for the Vikings. Let's after Cousins got hurt, obviously, but it's going to be very, very hard for them to make the playoffs. I just don't see it.
A lot of times, Adam, for survivor pool purposes and for guys that like to make limit plays and carry around bags of money, they like to pick against bad teams. Find the bad team, find the worst team in the NFL, and go against them. So everybody's focusing on who's winning the division here, who's doing this, who's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who's the worst team in the NFL? I mean, is it the obvious answer? Is it the Patriots? Is it the Panthers in the NFC? Who's the worst team that you're hearing about right now going to have a rough season?
No, I would say, Mark, and Dave, I would say the Patriots. They just quarterback. This could be hard for them to compete. They just traded the best pass rusher. They're very inexperienced at receiver. Offensive line, they got absolutely manhandled yesterday against the Eagles in the joint practice. They just don't have very much talent. They just don't have a lot of talent. And they think of it this way. They cut one of their top 2 receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster. They owed him $7 million fully guaranteed. They didn't even want him on the roster. They're just not going to be good. Look, we were all wrong 2 years ago with the Jaguars. Okay, I'll admit it. Pharrell and I, we both like the under 5.5. We were wrong. Most people were wrong on the Texans last year, the 4.5, 5 to win total. The odds makers missed on that one. You're not always going to get it right, but there's no way the Patriots are making the playoffs. And they're right up there. Dave, on your question, I put the Patriots right up there. I think the Vikings are going to be a 4 or 5 win team because they got problems at quarterback. I don't see it. The team people are, I don't get this one. I'm with the Titans. I'm in Nashville right now. The Titans are a team. I know they're in a tough division that's much improved. They're 7 to 8 win team to me. But I just gave you the 2 worst teams, to be honest with you, right now. And Denver's right up there, probably.
Listen, I'm a Giants fan. I don't have much hope for this season. I genuinely don't. There's nothing they do well, Adam. Nothing.
I'm going to disagree.
Is there? Okay, tell me what they do well.
All right, they got 2 things. That trade for Brian Burns, that was a great trade. I was shocked that they got him for what they got him for. I know they're paying him a lot of money, $28.5 million. With him and Thibodeau on the other side, with Dexter Lawrence up there, they feel like they've improved their secondary with Newman and Drew Phillips should be their nickel. Malik Neighbors have been incredible, but I saw them last week with the Lions. They may be a 6 or 7 win team, but they're not going to be one of the 3 worst. I don't see it. Now, Daniel Jones, by the way, looks healthy. I should mention that.
All right. We'll take your word for it. You're smarter than we are. Adam Kaipa, thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. When we get back, Dave, I said it a moment ago, and if you ever listen to me, it proved that I am 100% right. Tell you what I'm right about when we get back. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live, PrimeTime.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take up the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
He's shot on the 5th leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in-game live, PrimeTime here on the SportsGrid Network, YouTube, SiriusXM, channel 159. I'm Mark Zinno, in for Scott Wetzel, alongside Dave Sharapan. Dave, I wish people would listen to me. Some things I say are genuinely true and accurate. I told you before. No, I'm not going to let it go, because I tried to tell you with the Orioles, who didn't get a 2-out base hit in the 7th inning and didn't get one in the 8th inning. The Mariners had bases loaded with 1 out in the top of the 8th in a 2-0 game. Didn't get a base hit. 2 outs. Didn't get a base hit. What happens when you don't get 2-out base hits? Your bullpen comes in, gives up a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. They are now tied in the 9th inning right now at 2-2. All because you couldn't get a 2-out base hit. Remember, Dave, 2-out base hits win World Series. Write it down. Tell it to your kids. It's unreal. Let's get back to some
Two
other news.
outbase
Brewers
hits.
started up a
That's
3 against the
cool.
Dodgers, so they're back in it. Mets have pulled out to a 9-1 lead over the Athletics. Reds trying to finish off a 9-2 win. They're in the top of the ninth there with one out. Astros and Rays are in extra innings. Their Phillies got 9-5 lead over the Marlins. And, of course, like we all predicted, the White Sox once again have a lead over the Yankees 2-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Another team that can't seem to get a damn hit.
I did this the other night. It was a one-run game. The White Sox were leading the Yankees, and I took 1.5. Ended up losing 12-2. But it worked out okay last night where the Yankees came, and destroyed them. Not really. They shut them out.
By the way, it
so
went final. The Rangers came back and won over the Red Sox. That doesn't make your boy Matty Peralta any happy at all,
No.
especially when the Red Sox had quite the fat lead in the game, including a 7-4 lead in the 8th inning. Hold on.
This is that time of year where I said it today on BVB, and I meant it, where summer is like that summer girlfriend that you had, and you had fun all summer hanging out at the pool and going to like when you were kids, right? And then either at the end of the summer, she breaks up with you, and you're like, wait, we were together all summer. What happened? Like the Pirates really, the Skeens thing, everything was so much fun. And then they lose 9 games in a row and come out west. I didn't even, it's my annual family trip. I usually take the girls. We go watch the Pirates in San Diego or LA. And I was like, I don't think they're going to win a game. I was hoping they would win a game. They didn't win a game on the West Coast. Now they're going back and got to face Seattle. The Red Sox are the same things, like they had played above expectations up to the All-Star break. And you looked at the standings and you're like, geez, they could get the third wild card. They're actually right there. And then you look at the bullpen and you go, look, 65-1 to win the division. They're not winning the division, but they're not even making the playoffs. Look at the pennant odds. They're down low, where they were kind of in the middle last time. So baseball's tough. I mean, you're on a roll, unfortunately, calling things that are going to happen before they're going to happen, but they're not going to happen. Like you're calling things that not happen with the 2 out base hits, and then bam, like I hate to tell you you're right in those situations, but you were right.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was not right with the bet I made on the Orioles, and right now my bet on the Mariners is going to be very much in
We can win
play.
that. We can win that. You can win that one. Come on.
Well, okay. So now this again, we talked about this earlier. I think the total on this game when it opened, let me just double check. I think it was 7.5 between Detroit and Seattle.
Which one?
It was 8. It was 8.
Detroit and Seattle was closed 8.
It was 8.
Yep.
Closed 8. So now you have 2-2 going into extra innings. Do you think your under is safe if you get under 8?
I think I'm a dog. I think 8 in game right now.
I mean, they're not in extras yet.
If we're going to put an in-game number, it's 7.5. They're both going to score 2, right?
Yep.
7.5 is the number. That's thinking it through. 5-4. Oh no, 4-3 final is very likely. And what if we get 5-3?
3-2.
Oh my goodness,
might be the likeliest given. But again, neither one of these teams can get a 2-out base hit, so we could be here for a while. So there is that.
Call it right now. Does that game see the 11th inning?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Unless there's a home run hit. That's the only way it doesn't.
Okay. I'll say no.
That's how the game is. Somebody hits a home run.
I'll say the game is decided in the 10th. We'll see.
All right.
Fun little bet in game. Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the AFC North while we're here.
You're not going to like what I have to say.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm accepting the fact that the Steelers are going to have a rough season.
No. That wasn't what I was going to say.
What?
You know who I think finishes last in this division? The Bengals.
I can't wait to hear. You got me on the edge of my seat.
The Bengals.
Oh, how you read my mind? I'm with you. I have no idea what the Bengals are until I see it. Wow. Okay.
4
Bengals.
4 through 53. That roster is not good. Like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson. After that, That roster, 4 through 53, that's the worst roster in the division.
I don't know what Joe B is until I see it. That's a big
Well,
injury to come back from, right?
Number 2 here, Dave. Let me ask you a question. Because the Bengals are still the cheapest franchise in all the NFL, right? And the Browns don't want to pay anybody. When Jamar Chase tweaks his hamstring in week 3, think he's rushing back to be ready by week 4 without a new contract? That's a 4-week injury. He ain't coming back early. Why would he? Why would he risk anything? Why would he risk it? He didn't come back to his
I think it's a valid point. So if it's not Bengals, where do you put Cleveland in the order? I like Baltimore to win the division. I think getting Henry is a good thing, whether he's beat up, slower, old, whatever. That's going to only help. It's only going to help. So I like Baltimore. 11.5 is a really high number. Season win-wise now in the NFL, it's really hard to win 12 or more, especially in this division, which I still think is the best division in football. I like Baltimore to win it. I think Cleveland finishes second. I really think Cleveland's going to be good.
Deshaun Watson gives you replacement-level quarterback play. He doesn't have to be great. He just has to be good, above average, slightly above average. If he's a top 15 quarterback in the league, they should easily be able to finish second in that division. All right, we got more to come. More NFL here. Mark Zinno, Dave Sharapan, InGame Live. PrimeTime.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
Play. That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Paxton should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver in the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
InGame Live Prime Time here on the SportsGrid Network, YouTube, SportsGrid TV, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno in for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan. With you guys till 10 o'clock Eastern. Get you updated on the board real quick. 2 games and extra innings. Top of the 10th, Astros and Rays tied at 1. Astros first and third, 2 outs. Dave, what do they need?
2-out base hit.
We'll see if they get it. Mariners and Tigers tied at 2 in the top of the 10th. Ghost runner on. Mariners up at bat. Mets trying to finish off a 9-1 lead over the A's. They're in the top of the 8th there. Dodgers and Brewers knotted up at 3 as they're through 3 innings. Phillies 9-5 over the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees still trailing the White Sox. through 4.5. Yankees had first and third in the top of the fifth with 2 outs. Dave, you know what they needed?
A 2-out base hit.
Didn't get it. White Sox still lead 2-1.
Didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
We need 2-out base hits. We need to eat your vegetables. What else do we
listen,
need to
everybody,
do?
listen. I
Do
told
your
Dave I
homework.
get 4 simple rules. Eat your vegetables, do your homework, cover the number, 2-out base hits, win World Series. The rest of life is negotiable. Those things are not. Plain and simple.
Well, hopefully you get all that laid out before you get on the plane to come out to Vegas. Get all that done. Get all the
I
homework
have 4.5
done.
hours to explain it to both of them, okay? Eat your vegetables,
This is fine.
do your homework, cover the number, 2-out
This
base
is
hits, win World
fine.
Series.
I can guarantee you they're coming to see Grandpap and all this other stuff. They ain't doing the homework while they're here. You better get it done before you get on the plane. They ain't bringing no work with them. There's no
The
chance.
Houston Astros
Kids come
did
to
get a
Vegas
2-out base hit.
and don't do the work.
Right. Houston Astros did get a 2-out base hit. They now have a 2-1 lead. First and third, they're
Okay.
still 2 out. So we'll keep you updated on that as we're getting closer here.
Brewers tied the Dodgers. Game's headed
tied
over.
up at 3 there.
Yeah.
What's that number on the live line here? Let me see if I could pull it up.
11.5 total. Yeah. So
Still, it's
that
only
was
the
a good
fourth inning.
call
Still a lot of
early.
baseball left. Yeah, a lot of baseball left.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that. All right, let's get back to the NFL here, Dave, real quick.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the San Diego Chargers? I believe Los Angeles. Put a nickel in the jar.
That's okay.
I think Jim Harbaugh is going to be exactly what Justin Herbert needs. I think they go over that 8.5. I think that they are a team that is a playoff team. I certainly believe that Justin Herbert will end up in MVP consideration with Jim Harbaugh as his head coach.
I think it's going to be good. I'm not sure it's going to be good right away. So when you look at the schedule, I think everything goes right. Herbert's fine at the beginning of the season. No rehab or missing games because of plantar fasciitis. Right. I looked at that thing and I went through it a couple times. I think the peak is 10. I don't see him winning 11 games. So that's a pretty good number at 8.5, and the juice is on the over a lot of places. But if Herbert doesn't play and we get more Easton Stick, you are in big trouble. I think the Raiders can have more wins in them. And listen, Cap was talking about the Broncos having a bad season, and I can't say I didn't disagree until I saw Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Does he have something up his sleeve that we don't know about? Like 5.5? I mean, that might have been a little bit of a low shot.
Dave, I mean, he basically schemed bad quarterback play to 7 wins last year.
Right.
I mean, if all you got to do is be what Russell Wilson was last year, and they can win 7 games. It was Russell Wilson and Jared Stidham. They can win 7 games. It's Sean Payton. There's no way I'd bet the under. It's Sean Payton. He's still, in my opinion, the best schemer and play caller in the NFL. I mean, it's what he's done for 20 years.
He's got his guy now, and I think his guy has everybody on the team because now they're all working together where it felt like, Russell Wilson was on an island a lot of times last year. It felt totally disjointed. And even when you watch a team, it was like, what is he doing out there? Like you looked at the defense and are like frustrated again. And I don't know. I think the number maybe, a lot of people that I talk to and respect are saying the Denver number is going to go over. The Charger number's right on. And the Raider number, like being in Vegas, this quarterback controversy is real, but it's not. And if AOC plays more games or is the starter, that one could go over 6.5. That's what we're hearing here in the streets.
Real quick, I'll add this with the Chargers. People talk about the receiving corps. It's not there. Somebody name all the receivers that Jim Harbaugh had with Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, nobody remembers them either. They got to a Super Bowl with no-name receivers. So, exactly. So Harbaugh should be fine. When we get back, guess we didn't get a drop base hit. We'll play next. InGame Live, PrimeTime.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingstrom to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingstrom, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take it to 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a big flag.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in-game live prime time here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan as we welcome in our good buddy Cam Stewart here to the show. Cam, before we get to you real quick, Dave, just in case you were wondering, the Seattle Mariners had a runner on second with nobody out, didn't get a base hit, had a runner on second with one out, didn't get a base hit, and had a runner on second with two outs, and guess what they didn't do? Get a two-out base hit, tied at two, headed to the bottom of the 10th, which the Tigers will promptly win this thing here and kill my bet. Because the Mariners couldn't get a base hit with the bases loaded with one out and two outs earlier in the game. So more agony for me. Yankees still losing to the White Sox, Cam. So, listen, like we all predicted, the Yankees would only score 5 runs in this series so far. And, the White Sox are the most formidable opponent they've faced in a month and a half.
I got to tell you, Zinno, though, ever since Grady Sizemore took over, these haven't been the same White Sox. Take a look at the score. And they had a chance to run it up on the Yankees. It's like that guy who gets beat up all the time. And finally, and he catches a break. The bully misses. He catches him with a clean one, and he's not going to stop. And that's what it is. I'll tell you, I don't understand what the White Sox are doing, Dave, too. You're a baseball guy. Oh, Grady Sizemore. He's not going to be in the mix for a job. He's an intern guy. I don't know. Maybe you're playing your best baseball with the guy. He was a legend when he played. He played all positions. One of my favorite Cleveland Indians of all time. The guy was wicked. Remember that team with Travis Hafner, him? They were absolutely loaded. I'm telling you, I just think these guys are making a big mistake. They'll hire some retread, some loser that doesn't even have a clue. But anyway, it looks like the players are playing for him. He's a guy that played the game and they respect. Dave, Mark, golf time. So we got the final, and Mark, and you're not in the woods in Atlanta. That's where the Tour Championship is as we whittle down the 70 to 50 to 30. So we're going to start at the FedEx St. Jude. Very, very nice tournament, nice course. We got all the best players in the world right now, the top 70 in the money. Dave, because it's a smaller field, I'm not going to do as many bets. I might add one like that Brady and Carver take, but I'm just going to give you a 4-pack, 2 beers I've been drinking. Let's go. We got fun times out of the gate with our Swedish friend, Ludwig Aberg at 20-1. All he does is finish top 5. He wins tournaments before. It's time for him to close the door with the big boys, though. He's almost won the Masters. Remember, he put one in the water. This week, I think this course, it's about precision, and that's what he does. Next, Patrick Cantlay. This guy just drips money, and he's watching his buddy, Xander Schauffele, win all the time. He must be getting a little bit jealous, so it's time for him to step up his game. Lost in a playoff here before, 22-1. Billy Horschel, SEC guy, Florida Gator, one of the hottest players in the world right now. This guy is on fire, Dave, every single week. Paycheck, paycheck, paycheck. I'll give Matty George credit. He had him last week. If not for the craziness of that last week tournament, he could have been in the mix with Aaron Ryan Ginger and others. Sepp Straka from Austria by way of Georgia. We got a Gator and we got a Bulldog. Mark, just for you for college football right around the corner. Looks like fun. Cantley is a UCLA Bruin, and Aberg went to Oklahoma State, by the way, if anybody cares. Here we go. St. Jude top 5s and 10. Scotty Scheffler, I got to get a piece of you. You might win, but I'm going to get you a top 5, and I got to lay 15 cents like a baseball game. You know what's going to happen on Sunday, Dave. Scheffler's 5 shots back. Oh, my God. Birdie. Scheffler wins. Oh, and I don't have him again. Another second. Xander Schauffele, really hot player, plus 135 for a top 5. Colin Morikawa, a lot of people in the golf world love him this week. Perfect game for this course, too. It's about the putter with him. Sanjay M had a little bit of a meltdown on Sunday, but has been playing fantastic golf. 1 million top 10s at plus 240 for a top 10. That's great value. Christian Bezoutenhout hits it straight. That's all you need to do here. Plus 130. Bezoutenhout. Davis Thompson's water seal. Mark, if you got a problem with your deck, put the old water seal on. Great product at plus 150. And Eric Cole, not the former hockey player. This guy has been good. Low round of the day on Sunday to get into the top, almost the top 10, but he got into the top 20 and we'll take him again. So those are the guys. First round leaders, a couple of the same. Aberg always comes out hot. Billy Horschel, this guy on fire. I could see him going low again. Cameron Young, what are you doing to me? The Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Could have won the tournament last week, meltdown, but I'll tell you one thing, he always comes out fast. At 40-1, he's on the card. Ashke Batea, one of the smartest kids on tour. 50-1. Eric Cole, my friend, 66-1. And Pharrell calls me the Prime Minister, so I got to give you one Canadian. Mackenzie Hughes, 85-1. First round leader. Fellas, enjoy the St. Jude Classic. We'll whittle it down to 50. And then we'll have some fun at the Tour Championship at Eastlake outside of Atlanta. A lot of fun right now. And then football season starts. Amazing.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about football season.
Yeah.
First question is the game tomorrow. This new thing that a lot of teams are doing are joint practices. We had Kaplan on earlier talking about the joint practice between the Eagles and the Patriots. Look at the game tomorrow, and the Patriots are favored again. The total's down to 36. How do you even look at this thing? Is this something you might be interested in tomorrow night, sir?
Dave, you know me. If it moves, I'll bet on it. I just won't put a lot of units on it. I'll take the Patriots against the Eagles. We had the Eagles the first week against Baltimore, despite their great record. I think this game means more to the Patriots. You're right about the total. I don't really know. I think the Patriots will find a way to squeak out a win. Also, we have a Canadian Football League game tomorrow. I like the under 49.5 with Ottawa and Calgary. So I'll be watching a lot of football tomorrow night. That's what I'm into. Zinno, you must be happy with the Falcons. Another acquisition today, bolstering, getting Judon from the Patriots. That looks very, very nice for your team. And I got to tell you something, Dave. I made a bet on Murphy. Basically, the first round pick of the Seattle Seahawks from Texas. He was a Seattle Seahawks fan. I have him defensive rookie of the year. All this guy is doing is tearing up I know it's 2 games, like 1 game of preseason. I just read an article at practice, like guys in the Tennessee Titans couldn't even move. He's putting everybody in a pretzel. McDonald says this guy's the real deal. I'm actually really, really happy. I think they're going to have a resurgence this year with this defensive line. Byron Murphy, the second from Texas. This kid looks really special. I know you don't want to jump out of the gate calling him like the next Aaron Donald, but that's what they kind of are saying right now. This guy's really, really good.
Look, I think the Falcons made a great move here. Let's clarify. I'm a pathetic Giants fan, not a Falcons fan.
Oh,
but I do
you're
live
a
here.
Falcons fan. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
No.
You know?
Yeah. So, I'll defer to Adam Kaplan, but I think the Giants are in contention for the worst team in football this year. That's just me.
I agree with you.
Nonetheless, it's going to be bad. But the Falcons, by all accounts right now, again, I was telling Dave earlier, if the Eagles or Cowboys slip up, I think the Falcons could slide right into the 3 seed in the NFC.
I agree with you, Mark. I think the Cowboys actually are going to be one of the most disappointing teams in the league. I bet they're under 10.5 total. I think they're going to absolutely implode. I agree with you on the Giants. That's been a play to the under. I don't think they have a chance in hell. I actually made a crazy bet. New Orleans Saints, Dave, worst team in the National Football League, 22-1.
Okay.
I get laughed at, but I'm sticking to it. I think the Saints are going to suck. Look at that schedule, too. Good luck.
Yeah.
I think that team. The thing is, they got players, but they're very, very thin. Carr's horrible. I think they're like a 5-win team. I'm getting 7.5. It is my biggest future bet for season win totals under 7.5 with the Saints. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I wonder how Dennis Allen still has a job.
He's the worst coach in the league. Would you not agree?
Yeah.
They have a
And
lot
Robert
of
Saleh
issues.
is trying to challenge him for that title. But yeah.
You're right, Zinno. He gets the silver. I watched these guys like the Saints play the Bears last year with Bajan. It was like Allen couldn't even understand simple math. He was like, what the hell are you doing? He's going to, like, every player knows the coach knows to go for 2 or not go for 2. Like, he's an absolute train wreck out there. Hire a kid. Dennis Allen reeks. Yep.
Blue Jays go for the sweep tonight. They get it? Yes or no?
I like the under in the game the most, Dave, but I took the Blue Jays because they're riding hot players right now, including Wagner. Billy Wagner's kid has been absolutely fantastic. Not easy, though. Tyler Anderson has been sensational for the Angels. Great pitching matchup with Berrios and Anderson. I like Robbie Ray and the Giants to get it done tonight. Small favorites, minus 135. That's about it.
Going to be interesting, to say the least. All right, Cam. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
Always. Thank you for all tips. We'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, brother. Hope your picks are going to go good, and I like your.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Hey, Dave, guess who didn't get a 2-out base hit? The Detroit Tigers. You want to know why? Because they didn't get the 2 outs. They did it with 1. Detroit Tigers win 3-2.
10th inning.
Yeah. So I was wrong twice.
There we go.
Thank you. Rub it in. I despise the Seattle Mariners. I hope they fold as a baseball team.
Boy, they cause a lot of angst for a lot of people.
I hope everybody who owns a T-Mobile phone, the service goes out, okay? And the entire park shuts off. That's what I hope. We'll be back with more. An Angry Mark Zinno. InGame Live, prime time.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingstrom to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingstrom, he'll feel like this is a moment, a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of the 5th leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back in-game live, prime time here on the SportsGrid Network, SportsGrid TV, YouTube, SiriusXM, Channel 159. Mark Zinno in for Scott Wetzel alongside Dave Sharapan. Dave, I've had a moment to calm down about the Seattle Mariners. I will not say anything bad about them, nor will I wish any ill among T-Mobile users, and nor will I, wish bad things upon anybody other than my bankroll at this point in time. Let's get a live look at the board here. Phillies have gone final 9-5 over the Marlins. They locked that up. Reds beat the Cardinals 9-2. Astros hang on in 10 innings, 2-1 over the Rays. Obviously, 3-2 Tigers in 10 innings over the Mariners. The Brewers now have a 4-3 lead with that game in the bottom of the fourth. Hey, Dave, guess what? The Yankees have bases loaded. Guess how many outs there are?
2.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen here? Anthony Volpe's up.
Pitching change.
What do you think's going to happen here? Okay, we'll see.
Pitching change. We'll see.
We'll see.
You think
This
they
is
get
the
a 2-out
difference
base
between the
hit?
Yankees winning this game and losing this game. Okay? Just want you to know that. Unfortunately, you got a guy up there who's betting my sister's weight. We'll get to that here in just a moment. But again, Brewers threatening with more here. They have second and third with just 1 out. Blue Jays and Angels getting underway. Braves and Giants just underway as well. That'll round out the Major League Baseball card for tonight. Kind of get back to the NFL here. Dave, I mean, do you approach the preseason in any given way? I tend to look to first halves because I believe that there is less variance in knowing who's starting, knowing who's playing. A lot of teams will telegraph how much they're going to play, what the expectations are for those guys going to play. So to a certain extent, I feel like betting first halves is at least minimizing some of the variance. Do you agree?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Listen, I'm sweating this here for you right now. All right, we got 2 outs, we get the bases loaded, and a pitching change, and he's behind in the count. All right, we won't even look. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to get upset. I'm just thinking, who is this hitting? Is that Volpe?
I mean, you get the Yankees plus 118 right now live on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
To the White Sox.
No, the Yankees are plus 110.
So to the White Sox, they're plus to the White. They're not playing the Orioles. They're playing the White Sox, and they got 3 guaranteed at bats, down a run. This got to be a play. Has to be. Has to be a play.
So.
Oh boy, we're down in the count. Listen, I hate it when the bases are loaded and you're not aggressive. He hasn't swung the bat yet, and he's down 1-2. So this is. I don't want to say it. I already know. Zin, who needed a 2-out base hit?
Everybody I bet on.
And who didn't get a 2-out base hit?
Oh, not the Yankees.
Damn it.
2-1.
What a theme of tonight. This is incredible. All right,
Very
so
tough.
let's get away from baseball for a second. I just thought of something else. The NFC North is really interesting. I mean, we talked about the AFC North. The NFC North, all right, you see it right there, the Lions, plus 130 to win the division. Then the Packers. And you're talking about the Falcons being the third best team in the NFC. Are the Packers in that discussion at all for you? Because, I mean, when you look at the odds, they're the 4th choice. And, I mean, the public favorite is the Bears. I can't believe the Bears are right there with the Rams to win the NFC Championship. Where are you at with the Packers?
I'm still deeply perplexed as to how the Packers could give Jordan Love $55 million based off of 8 games. Makes absolutely no sense to me. It's the craziest thing. Good for Jordan Love. Good for Jordan Love. But the Packers made one of the dumber moves I've seen a franchise make. You paid a guy based off 8 games.
But in today's NFL, when you make the commitment to the guy and then you replacing a quarterback's not the thing that you want to be replacing year after year after year. So once you lock it in, you build a roster around it. Now, $55 million is the highest paid guy ever, and that hamstrings your ability to fill the spots around them. But everybody's young.
There were
Coach is
9
good.
games
No.
played. There were 9 games played by Jordan Love. Okay? Prior to that 8-game stretch at the end of the season, which everybody is fawning over like he's the next Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
In those 9 games, you know whose numbers his were worse than? Derek freaking Carr, who was on the worst offense in football. Yes, Derek Carr had more passing yards, a higher completion percentage, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions, and a higher quarterback rating than Jordan Love through the first 9 games last year. Wow. And yet we're going to forget those 9 games existed in favor of giving him $55 million based off 8 games. Knock yourself out, Packers. Good luck. Good luck.
Ooh.
And I will argue.
So you don't give them a chance to win a division? You'd rule them out from winning the division?
If they sweep the Lions, yes, but I don't think they're going into Detroit and winning that game.
I don't think so either.
Look, I'm not saying the Packers are going to be bad, and I'm not saying Jordan Love is going to be bad, but look, contracts are all a product of timing and the market. I get that.
Yep.
You could have offered Jordan Love $40 or $45 million, and you're telling me he wouldn't have taken. Who were the Packers bidding against? Themselves. They were bidding against themselves. Here's a contract on the table, Jordan. Do you think anybody in Green Bay, if the Packers had offered him $40 million over 4 years, let's say the Packers had offered him the same contract Daniel Jones got, 4 years, $160 million. Is there a Packers fan who looks at that and objectively goes, no, he should turn that down? He should absolutely turn that down. He's worth more than that. No, he's not. They outbid themselves by an easy $10 million a year. Easily.
Maybe they were scared of what the Bears are becoming, right?
Maybe they were scared of what the Falcons were 2 years in a row with no quarterback play.
It's a pretty good look. That's a pretty good look. If you look at that and go, we don't want to be that.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
I don't know. I think the Packers are going to do well. I think they make the playoffs. It's a good bet.
I think they're going to be competitive. I'm not saying they're not, but that's a different conversation than paying a guy $55 million, which is absolutely insane. Toronto Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead already. Braves threatening at top of the first, runners in scoring position. More to come here. Wrap things up. In-game live prime time on the Grid.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
Play. That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of a fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver in the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Final segment here, in-game live, prime time on the SportsGrid Network, YouTube, Sirius XM, channel 159. Mark Zinno for Scott Wetzel, alongside the incomparable Dave Sharapan as we get you through this Wednesday night here. I mentioned that the Blue Jays took a 2-0 lead, two-run shot for them in the top of the second inning. They're up 2-0. 4-3 lead for the Brewers over the Dodgers now in the top of the fifth. We have two outs there as well. Yankees still trailing the Chicago White Sox in a very exciting 2-1 game. Good job, Yankees. And the Braves threatening here in the top of the first, they have bases loaded with one out at this point in time, but there are 2 strikes on Orlando Arcia. So we'll see if we get to our favorite situation in baseball, Dave, which is 2 out base hits with men in scoring position. We'll win World Series. So we'll see if we can keep that theme going through the night, as it has come back to bite me straight in the backside on several occasions today.
Yeah. All right. So, listen, and we swung through the league. We saw many guys stranded on base with 2 outs. I can't believe how many times it happened tonight.
Listen, the only people who were stranded more were those people in Kabul airport when we pulled out. Those are the only people who were stranded more than the guys on base tonight that did not get a 2-out base hit.
Okay. We talked, a lot of pro football. What about college football? We got week 0, a week from tomorrow. There'll be games. Is there anything you're looking at that first weekend of college football that, when you're flying across the country, coming out to Vegas and thinking about looking at Notre Dame, that first game, anything on that docket that goes, you know what, I'm excited to either see that game or maybe there's a play, because I hate week 0. I personally, from being in a book, it didn't never lived up to the billing for me. So I'm not a fan of it, but is there anything you look at and see and like?
Florida State's team total is going to be interesting. Georgia Tech's problem last year, I would even look to the over in that game, because Georgia Tech's problems last year was the defense. They had a bottom 5 run defense in the country. I don't know how much better you can get in 1 year. You can get better, but I don't know if they still have enough to slow down Florida State. Granted, again, you're getting a new quarterback, but you still have a lot of what they had last year that, all in theory, if Jordan Travis doesn't get hurt, they're a playoff team. Oh, well, they were a playoff team. But regardless, no, they weren't. Sorry. I think that is a shorter number than I would have expected at 11.5.
Okay.
I think that's playable to 14, to be honest with you. Just given the fact that Georgia Tech and their defense is really what concerns me. I mean, it genuinely does. It's an early season conference game. So, Florida State, with all the time to prepare, is going to give it absolutely their best. I know Georgia Tech is up and coming. I think that they are going to be better than people think. I don't know if that means they win a bowl game, get to a bowl game. They might end up being 5-7. But still, that defense is majorly problematic. Haynes King should be able to put some points up. But I kind of feel like the over or the Florida State team total over, because they should be able to get to 40 against Georgia Tech, really without breaking sweat.
I got current number 11.5, 12 some places. 56.5 is the total. You got SMU playing Nevada, Delaware State playing Hawaii, and Montana State playing New
Mexico at home getting 8.5.
What? Are you serious?
It's a tougher place to play than people give it credit for. Again, Montana State is interesting. They can score, but this just feels like it's set up for one of those spots where Montana State is in a much tougher game. Not that they're going to lay an egg, but they're in a much tougher spot than people want to give it credit for. So, again, Montana State can certainly score. They have no problem on offense. But maybe they take this New Mexico team a little bit too lightly, is maybe my guess.
All right,
Why is
we'll
the number
write
so
that one
short?
down.
For a team that scored, in the 30s routinely last year, in their conference, why is this number so short? It felt like it should have been double digits, so it kind of alarms me a little bit.
I have no idea. Yankees just stole base. They got a guy on second base. Nobody else in.
If you can't hit,
nobody else. Does he score?
Hey, the Braves got a 2-out base hit. Guess what happened? They got 5 runs in the first.
How about that?
Yeah. You know what that 2-out base hit was? A grand slam.
A home run. Forget about a hit. Good job, Zid. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Better.
Good job, boys.
Good too, Dave. Love you, buddy. Thanks to the guys on the back end for keeping us on the rails here at InGame Live, PrimeTime. Have a good night, everybody.